Is it? Oh, they don't like the orientation on it. All right. There we go. Ouch. Hey, good morning. If anyone's on here already, I'm just setting everything up. Just taking a look at this move that's happening right now. Trying to set up my cameras and all this stuff as usual. I just want to say good morning. I'm using the phone on the monitor, so I can't see the chat right now just yet. Give me a second, guys. Also, I need to share this. Hey, what's up, Eli? Oh, I can see the chat. This is amazing. This is great. Let me turn the volume on. What's up? Hello, everyone. I didn't even see all these people here. This is amazing. What's up, guys? Hi, Eli. Hoping for a huge green arrow. Alex, Will. You're not cooked. No, not at all, dude. I got 50,000 shares at 77 cents. Jeffrey, hey, how's it going, Jeffrey? Good to see you as always. Wish I had more money to average down in the 30s. So yeah, what are we seeing here? Let's figure out what we're seeing. This, God, I'm still trying to figure out this. All right, there we go. That's a little helpful. But it does it. But it only allows me to use the camera this way. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hello from Scotland. You got 13,000 shares at 47 cents. Nice. I have a plan like yours to recover my initial investment ASAP and then ride the wave. Yeah. So today's the day to call your broker and or set your good to cancel limit, tier limit sell orders to wherever you're going to take profit. You know what I mean? Remember, trading biotechs is about taking profit. There's it's like a what do they call ADHD playground of possibilities that could happen in terms of catalysts, and then we hope that Joel is done accessing the shelf registration, the S3, and we hope that the at the market is complete. These are some of the big announcements that might happen any day now. I think what we're starting to see is, I don't know, guys. Listen, with this stock, who knows what's happening? This could be the buyback happening. This could be shorts covering. This could be market makers flipping, like I said last week. Let's take some questions. I ain't selling until 10. I don't blame you, Will. I'm holding now, man. Dude, look, I'm riding on house money. I got into this at, you guys know my story, 18 cents. I bought 100,000 shares, sold 50,000 at 40 cents, rode it all the way up to 163. And when it started to crater, I cashed out at $1.15 and made like $48,000. All that money's back into the stock. And now I have a position of like 77 cents a share times 50,000, which is like, it's an awesome position. I was about to say something negative. It's an amazing position. Let's see what else. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Can I get a verbal from somebody in the chat that says that you guys can hear me? In fact, hear me? It looks like we're moving, man. This is amazing. Can you guys hear me? Let's see, Eli. I need a verbal confirmation from someone that you can hear what I'm saying. Okay, great. Thanks, Will. That's amazing. All right, sweet. So yeah, so we have this is what we've been waiting for, man. Oh my God, let me drop this other mic. God, we've been waiting for this. So what we're looking for now is, let me take a look. I'm gonna try to move the camera in a little bit. Doesn't give me much room, and you guys know I'm not very good at this. I'm not like one of these YouTubers that's trying to make everybody subscribe and sell merchandise, or I don't have a Discord. I just do this for the love of the stock and the love of the community. I'm not making any money at all. I'm nowhere near monetizing anything on YouTube or TikTok or anything. I'm just doing this because I'm a team player with you guys. And let's see. Okay, let's try to get a better perspective there. And let's see what we got. Preston, yes, loud and clear. Jeffrey, loud and clear. Thanks, guys. All right, so we got 38.88. So what we're looking for right now, and this would be a miracle, this is what we really want to see, is this 41 cents. I think that's what I have. If we can get, I'm going to mark this 41 cents out, and we're going to mark a trend. We're going to do a trend line here, a horizontal line, and we're going to hope that we bust through that, because once we bust through 41 cents, and I'll explain it in a minute, and then I will call this something. Let's see. I don't know what color we should put that, gray or something. Nah, I don't like gray. Gray, yeah. Make it a neon one. If we can pop through that 41 cents, we might start running. Okay, so okay, let's see what we got. I ain't selling. Will says I ain't selling. Does anybody have any questions we can jump into? I'm kind of like a little fuzzy right now. I had a whole pot of coffee. You'd think I would be like all over the stuff right now, but so okay. So there's the chart we're looking at. These are 15-minute candles, by the way, just to let everyone know. And then so I marked that out. Now let's minimize a little bit. I'm gonna go like this. This is trading view. If you don't know what trading view is, and what I did today was, if you see this tan area on the chart here, this is pre-market. So to just forget about this big blue line for now. If you guys probably already know this, but I'm just going to say it for anybody who's new, it doesn't know it, is new to trading. So the way the easiest way to this is good for day trading, swing trading, scalping, anything, is the best way to track price is to, first of all, see what's happening in the pre-market. I used to trade the pre-market. I used to jump in the pre-market and ride the candles up in the pre-market and take all these crazy chances. And then I realized I'm not doing anything until after the first 15-minute candle in regular market hours. Look at this thing moving. So anyway, so we marked at the pre-market high, which that's what this green line is. It was at like 37.90. The pre-market low was at 34.87, 34 cents. This big blue line that you see is the day. So right now we are well above, we just cracked the day. I'm not going to move this trend line because the day is not over, right? We all know all too well what can happen with this stock, especially. But I don't want to jinx it. Right now we're looking really good. We're looking better than we have in, I can't remember honestly the last time we were moving like this. See, here's the thing. I'm not going to give anyone financial advice or anything, because this green line here, this 41 cents, if we crack past that and close 15-minute candles, I would say if you're looking to invest, now's the time to invest, because it'd probably be a last chance. But let's see what happens. Let's keep an eye on it. I'll take some questions. Let's go. All right. Has the volume increased? Let's take a look. That's a great question. So this candle right here that's printing is 15,048. Is that what that says? I don't know what I just did. I just jammed the camera. Well, let's just take a look at the easiest way to. I'm sure the volume is increasing, and we have to. That's a great question. We can kind of do some figuring out of what is happening. All right, let's take a look. I'm trying to maneuver myself without knocking everything over. Let's break 40. Come on, break 40. Let's go. We deserve 40. Okay. So what do we have? We have 7 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. We got some amazing price action. This blue orb box. This is the orb, the original range breakout, 15-minute candle, and you can see we were trading underneath that in the middle of it earlier, and then we made our move. Let's see. So that tells you that, obviously bullish, and then we cracked through the pre-market high, very bullish. These are no, they're not fully engulfed. So there's still there's still a war happening here, but let's take a look at the volume. Let's see what Yahoo Finance has as the volume. And they have 13,176,000. Earlier today, it was at 3,200,000. So yeah, so This is kind of suspicious because we saw this the other day. We were trading, we had like 3 million in volume, and then we saw all of a sudden instantly 10 million in volume, and then it crashed back down again. So hopefully that's not what's going to happen today. This looks a little more bullish than it looked on Friday, but I can show you that the same thing happening on that. This is where it happened on Friday. It went like that. See this? It went all the way up and then came back down. But this, as you can see, look at these candles, guys. So this is the kind of action. See what happened on Friday, and also over here, we started to break this day trend line, right? And the day trend line goes all the way up to $1.66 on July 24th. So we break it. Here's the trend. We break it. It gets stuffed back down. We break it. It gets stuffed back down because for optics and automatic market maker algos, whatever, they stuff it back down. Today we start the pre-market above that day trend line, and I just already told you about whatever else I mapped out here. And it looks like we're on a move. We're moving. 40 cents is a big round number. A lot of stuff happened at 40 cents. The last time we were at 40 cents, it was kind of like watching a horror movie. But 40, we thought we were like, oh God, look at them forcing liquidity down to 40, because it's a round number, thinking that's all it was. And then Trump said something about China, and all of a sudden we were down at like 36 cents in like 5 minutes. So what we're doing is recovering from that now, I think. So we're going to see that recovery. 10 million shares. Let's look at the chat. What are you guys saying? Oh yeah, Will. Did you see that today, Will? Let me know if you saw that today, because I need to go in there and report it. And please report if you see anyone fake account. I'll never post bearish. If you see anything posting bearish or whatever, just report those accounts without replying or responding, and block them and mute them. That's been happening to a lot of us. Any of us, that have been on there. Oh, it was over the weekend. Yeah, they did it again over the weekend. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Morning, afternoon. What's up? Hey, Abdullah. What's up? Walter. Hello. Last chance, it always goes up and then back down. Right. That's what we were just talking about. This move is a little bit more consistent, though, Walter. It's really trying hard to punch through 40 cents. Let's look at level 2. Let's take a look. And here we go. There's my ChatGPT. No secret. You guys know I use ChatGPT. There's my Weeble. There's all my schoolwork. I don't care. I got nothing to hide, really. Okay, here's my level 2. We're currently experiencing delays due to the technical issue with Amazon. How convenient. All right, so here we are on level 2. What do we see here? We got, so we have very little selling, and we got some buying starting to happen. 100, 700, 1,550, 2,500 shares. I think you get a better look at this at the order book on your phone. I can't do it right now because my phone is the YouTube live. But you get a better look. They'll give you 4 pages of orders. Let's see. But right now, nobody's really selling. There's some penny flippers here, 40 cents. Somebody, they're trying to make, they're probably, they got 50,000 shares. They see the move. So these people that are selling 10,000 and 3,000 shares, well, I don't know about the 3,000, but, a lot of day traders in here probably. But what we can see is some buying, not a crazy amount of buying. Let me refresh this. And this is lit, right? So this is the lit exchange. We don't really see what's happening, unfortunately. You guys probably figured that out by now. I was on StockTwits. You saw that, and yeah. So okay. So Eli, what's up? So my thoughts on what's going to happen is basically that I want to make sure. Can somebody post this link on StockTwits? Because I don't think if I did, I didn't do it well. I just want to let everybody know. Try to get Nina in here if possible. I don't know if she's in here. Hey, she's great with the old Fibonacci and the other, technical indicators and stuff like that. I don't use Fibonacci. I just trade support and resistance and price and time frames. And I just keep it simple like that. So this is level 2, not a lot happening here. Let's go back to the chart. There's my notes. We don't need to close that. And there's my schoolwork. There's all this stuff. Where's this? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we got 56 seconds left. It's extremely bullish to close these candles because these are 15-minute candles. You guys want to see the 5-minute chart? So this is like, obviously what's been happening, right? Hopefully you guys are looking at something like this. If you're not and you're wondering why my chart's different, it's because I always look at the 15, because the 15 I feel like is I don't know. I have like ADHD. I don't want to look at a 5-minute chart, but here's the 5-minute chart. We'll take a look. There's the 5. 5 looks sexy. Yeah, 5 looks sexy. It looks like it's fighting. It's look at this. Look at this. So we got, yes, we had that pre-market high. We had some suppression or a lot of selling here. It looks like we traded within that first 15-minute candle. We went bullish, got pushed down, and now they can't hold us down, and we're making our move. And now we're at 0.3923. We really want to get over that 41 cents. To have something to talk about. I would like, I mean, if anybody's watching that has dry powder, yeah, I mean, clearly today is the day you start buying, especially right now under 40 cents. I don't think we're going to see it stay under 40 cents for very long. We're going to make a big move, and we may even make this, or it may even just kind of play with this land that it's living in right now. And then after hours today, when the market closes and there's no filings, right? Here's the filing page. This is, let me try to move that there. There's the files. Ouch, I probably shouldn't have moved it, but yeah. So that's today. That's the Edgar SEC company results. I'm going to refresh the page just to be sure. And yep, it's the same stuff. You got a 10K, 8K, 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 lots of 8Ks. They love 8Ks. What we're looking for is so this is the 10K. So if you don't know, 10K means annual report. It says it right there, annual report. What we are looking for, and the most probable reason for the silence is maybe a possibility of a period between the 10K and the 10Q. So let's look at that. There's that chart. Go back over here, and we're on the 15-minute chart over here. You can see we busted through the day trend line. Let's look at some more trend lines. So people like are a lot more savvy than I am with the technical trading and stuff like that. But from what I understand right now, we've so this trend line here, I'm going to move because that's my 5-minute chart. The black line is my 5-minute chart. So we're going to just talk about quickly, and then I'll take some questions or whatever. But so we have to move this. This thing is going to look like Donkey Kong now, because we're going to go all the way up here, and we're going to put it there. And then we're going to mark out some of these bottom. Is that a wick? I can't tell if that's a wick or not. Because if it's not a wick, I don't want to mark out a trend line from there. But you know what? I'll use one of these. I'll use that tiny wick right there. And that one is at 35.36. So I'm going to go over here. Ding, ding. Almost there. Sorry if I'm boring you guys. 35.36. And then we're going to mark out. Is that the lowest one? You'll find the lowest wick you can find on the 5. Is this the 5-minute? Yeah. On the 5-minute chart. I mark out trend lines on 5-minute charts, not on 15s, because I don't know, 5s are just so much noisier. Okay, so we can see that's where price is going. You can see that this blue line is the first 15-minute candle, and clearly we've broken through that. That's the first thing you want to do every day if you're bullish. We busted through the pre-market high, which is this green line at 37.90, And now we want to make a move for this resistance. I believe resistance is at 41 cents up there. We're seeing a little bit. See, this is why I hate looking at 5-minute candles, because you can see this. See this big red candle right here being pushed down. It just went from 39.20 to 38.67, which is, guys, that's like fucking a third of a penny. Like, who cares, right? But then again, you flip to the 15-minute chart and look at it. You don't even see that probably. Oh no, you do. Okay. So yeah, it looks like shorts are defending, or the algos or market makers, whatever, are defending this and trying to keep it suppressed and push it down. It's very frustrating, isn't it, guys? But listen, that said, though, I don't want to be like Debbie Downer. The reality is that when you you have a bunch of giant green bullish candles, you're gonna get some kickback, and you're gonna get some. You gotta wait for, people are, if there's no kickback at all, then there's no liquidity. No one's gonna buy back in, right? No, so people watching this, someone watching this is waiting for this move right here, is waiting for this red candle so that they can enter. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at some questions. Hey, from Scotland, what's up? Bees, hello from Scotland 13. Yep, we talked about that. Will, we talked about that. Jeffrey, Abdullah, Walter, Will. Hey, from, I'm not sure who that is because I can't read that writing. I need like one of those things. The cool dad. Let's see what Nina looks like. Oh, if you want to see what Nina looks like, just look at my live video from Friday. We did a live. It's about an hour and a half long. We talk about everything. Just take a look. She's on there. Jeffrey, what's your name on StockTwits? Me? I'm IXHL 2025. That's me. If you haven't figured that out, yeah, I'm the guy just posting all the time and trying to help manage the narrative and just put smart stuff up there to help people learn how to trade better and give people good information. I got a lot of haters, but it's okay. I don't mind. Managed to get another 5,000 at 36. Wow, that's an incredible position. Good for you, Paul. That's pretty cool. Lucky you. Yeah, you know what I was thinking about? This is insane. I had to really think about this throughout the whole weekend. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was thinking, I have a 2024 Toyota Corolla with like 15,000 miles on it, and it's in perfect condition. And I went for an oil change, and they're like, "We'll give you $20,000 for your car." And the whole weekend I'm thinking, I'm gonna go get that 20,000, and I'm gonna average down. But no, I'm not going to do that. That would be totally irresponsible. I'm just gonna, look, we're at 38 cents. Yeah, my position is, I'm definitely about 20,000 unrealized in losses right now. Doesn't matter. This thing's gonna fly $1, $2, $3, $4 soon. Let's see what else anybody's saying. Yeah, we got 24 people. Let's see. I don't even know. Oh yeah, share, copy link. People are at work. I'm like, Novo Nordisk partnership to be announced shortly. I don't know. Somebody brought up a really, really interesting thing. They commented on one of my YouTube videos, and they said something like, "Did you notice that the same day or the day after, within 24 hours of posting I think it was the July 24 stuff, they lost $90 million in market cap from from the day, I guess, right after phase 2 IHL 42X, the obstructive sleep apnea drug top line results came out the next day. Novo Nordisk lost like $80 to $90 billion in market cap. And he wanted to, pose the correlation there. And, yeah, I mean, yeah. And this is what and we wonder why the stock has been like getting slammed like this. It's because we're, it's like, dude, I had Joel all wrong, man. I was watching those videos, those podcasts, like so many times over and over and over again, listening to him. And he kept saying, disruptor. We own disruptor. And I was like, why does he keep saying disruptor? And that's exactly right. We are attempting to disrupt. He's trying to tiptoe and walk on eggshells while he's doing it. But what happened to my screen?
we are disrupting these markets and these people's money. We're messing with these people's money, so they're not going to make it easy. For one thing, right? I don't know that I hate to talk like a weird conspiracy theorist, but I love to just stay in the facts to the best of my ability. So the other also this morning I posted this thing, which is, a lot of you already know this. If anybody's watching, you guys know this. So this is the day trade line, is the blue thing. I'm not going to start typing. And where are we at? 39 cents. So a little earlier, so we peaked over here at just like 39 and a third. But it looks good though. This 15-minute candle is fighting to wick up. I mean, or to go to flip bullish. And there's like another 4 minutes left. Let's take some questions. Light shadows, Noble Nordisk partnership. I hope so. Managed to get it at 5,000. So let's. You know what I want to ask is, does anybody know this? Let me ask you guys some questions. I know there are people. You guys are out there. You're just not like me. You're not like as talkative as I am, but you know more than I do. That's the thing. It's like me and Nina know very little. A lot of us know very little. We're just going with what we know, with a little bit we've learned over a few years of trading. There's so many people that know so much more than us, and the only way to identify those people is if they're respectful and they can communicate. But a lot of people that know more than us, and know more than the people that are posting, guess what? They don't have time to post and teach us things. so what I always keep my eye out is for anyone that's respectful, has a respectful tone, and that can provide some more information and present things that we're missing. You know what I mean? That's what this community is all about. That's hopefully what it is. And it's like, like I said, I'm not trying to get subscribers here. If you want to subscribe, great. And this is not some pitch to. I'm not selling T-shirts. Or I've never even been on Discord, so I don't have a Discord. I'm not trying to get anybody to do anything. I'm just trying to just get everybody a little bit more on the page of the catalysts that are coming. So one of the things today, let me look at my photos. You guys can see all my photos. But this is what I want to bring up. This is a very easy way to look at the catalysts that are coming up. And this is my computer photos. TOS. There it is. Recently saved. There it is. Is this today? Here it is. Okay, so this is what I wanted to look at. Let's open that up. And so these are the SEC filings that's what ChatGPT came up with this morning when I asked ChatGPT to create a easy graphic. So this is what I want to ask ChatGPT too about is so we have let's see if there's any questions. No new questions. Cool. All right. So the 10K came out on September 29th. The 10Q did not come out yet. What we need to know is, let's do this. Well, can I keep that open? And then you go like this. Yep, perfect. I'll move this over here so you can still see it. And then open old reliable. Look at my ChatGPT. IXHL, star photo analysis, identify. Oh, this is you can see all the stuff that I ChatGPT. So let's ask Alexa and ask ChatGPT. So we'll get some correlating answers. When IXHL filed their 10K on September 29th, is there a silence compliance period between every 10K and the following 10Q question mark? Or was the silence compliance period solely due to the October 20th compliance period ending question mark? Well, So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT that real quick. ChatGPT gets stuff wrong all the time, but I want to find out if they're still forced to be quiet, because then the next topic is going to be like, which one of these filings is coming next? Excellent question, and this is what it says. Excellent question. This one really matters for interpreting IXHL's behavior. Here's the breakdown. There's no automatic or formal SEC mandated for silence compliance period between a 10K and the next 10Q. Companies can issue press releases, respond to media, or make statements as long as those statements are truthful, non-misleading, and compliant with regulation FD, fair disclosure. However, in IHL's case, the quiet period likely had nothing to do with the normal 10K, 10Q cycle and everything to do with the NASDAQ compliance deadline on October 20th. Here's what happened. IXHL filed its 10K on September 29th, 2025, which reset its formal disclosure obligations. Ooh, I like that. Which reset its formal disclosure obligations. Interesting. Okay, so that's what happened on September 29th. From that point on until October 20th, the company was under review to determine whether it would A, regain compliance with NASDAQ's $1 bid price rule through market performance, or B, apply for an extension, usually a 188-day grace period. During that time, companies often enter what traders call an informal silence compliance period, meaning they avoid any new statements that could appear as attempts to influence the share price before NASDAQ's decision. Once NASDAQ grants the extension, which appears they did, since no reverse split was announced by today, IXHL would be free to resume normal communications, including updates about its pipeline, financing, or partnerships. So there's no blanket 10K to 10Q quiet period, so I was wrong there. The silence was tied to the NASDAQ compliance, not the filings themselves. And if they got the 180-day extension, the new deadline would fall around April 2026. Would you like me to show what kind of wording I is legally allowed to release and then the deadline passed? Now that the deadline passed, something they could say publicly without violating. I'll just say yes to that, and then we'll go back to these. So I think what we need to do is get to the end of the day. Inconex Healthcare confirms, an update is allowed. Inconex Health confirms that the company has received an extension from NASDAQ to regain compliance with the minimum bid requirement. So they're allowed to update. We remain committed to enhancing shareholder value and executing our operational and clinical objectives. This is a factual, non-promotional, and satisfies Reg FD. It gives material information to all shareholders equally without implying price targets or speculative claims. 2, pipeline operational updates allowed with care. This is an example. The company continues to progress its phase 2B trial for IHL 675A, that's the rheumatoid arthritis, and preparing its upcoming files with the FDA. Further updates will be provided as milestones are achieved. These are some of the examples of the catalyst that could be coming now. This type of statement is, and again, it's most likely, the end of the day today. This type of statement is acceptable because it looks forward-looking but qualified. It outlines ongoing activity. Here's another example. Financial clarity. As previously disclosed in the annual report filed September 29th, the company maintains approximately $73 million in cash and cash equivalents, providing sufficient runway for its planned clinical programs. Reiterating previously disclosed figures is fine. They're already public and verified in the 10K. Future communications allowed. The company, these are examples. The company expects to file its next quarterly report 10Q. See, this is what I'm looking for by mid-November, because this is going to be super bullish. They're going to say no debt, $100 million in cash, ATM complete. By mid-November, we'll provide additional information on operations, financials at that time. That's a clean, forward-looking disclosure. What they can't say right now, they can't issue hype statements like big announcements, talks with partners, expecting a breakout quarter. They can't comment on price action or investor speculation. They can't disclose new material information to a limited audience, like i.e. private emails or selective briefings. Okay, so we'll kill the ChatGPT. So we'll go back to looking at this. The next filings that may come up, we got the 10Q quarterly report. That's probably going to come up. We also want to keep an eye out for this. Any of these 13 filings that say anything about institutional ownership, those are going to be super bullish. These are typically scary if you see any kind of S filing or SB 45, S3, S1. Take that, put that in something that can decipher that information and disseminate it as fast as possible. Because sometimes they could be an update, and something like when I see S filings, I freak out, dude. I have like a heart attack because I always expect the worst and think that they're going to be like, oh no, we're going to access the rest of the, because in case you guys don't know, the S3 is the shelf registration. We already have a shelf registration April 27th. Said that there's 800 million shares. We used about 450 million of them. There's about 400 or 350 left or something. I don't know. Whatever. Those numbers are approximate. We used so many of them, raising, in my opinion, the $100 million. I'm pretty sure it's done. I can tell. I've been watching the stock every day and watching the charts every day. I know how to identify dilution, and I think we're complete. And I've been right about everything so far. Even when it wasn't popular and I was telling everybody that dilution was happening and freaking out and acting like an idiot, turns out I was right. Even though I apologized for being right publicly several times. Anyway, that all said, you can never see the forest through the trees. And I believe that we ended up with, a very unique, he loves to say the word unique, a very unique CEO. And if you look at his actions and not the way he talks and not anything else, you can see that he did his job. He raised upwards of $100 million in cash and protected the company, and now got himself in a great position to negotiate, and he got himself enough cash for operations, enough cash to pay off all the debt. There's no toxic financing. If you see, like, for an example, I'm going to go to questions in a second, but if you want some examples of toxic financing, you look at Beyond, right? Look at the BYND. People are like, oh, Beyond is going up to $1. We know after hours it's moving, making a move. Look at the financing on look what's happening. Look at the SEC files on Beyond. That's a dangerous playground to be in, man. If you're in Beyond, look at the filings, disseminate all that information, because they're about to add 3 billion shares, 3 billion. So, or they have access to it anyway, and then they're going to do a reverse split. So if you're in Beyond, making money off Beyond today, take profit. No, not financial advice. Let me get out of here, and then we'll go back to the charts, and I'll look at you guys' questions. Okay, so look, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So these are 15-minute candles, because it's a lot less noisier. You can see, look at all that green volume here, right? And then bung, bung, boom. And I don't think I have to change any of these trend lines. We're trading well above the day trend line, and we're not getting slammed down yet, right, guys? Yet, because we've seen this so many times. And we want this to go like this. We want that to go like that. And then we want to come back up here again and to make this move to 41 cents. So you can see that 41 cents resistance, right? That's exactly what I was talking about earlier, because what we want to happen is this. Want that to happen. This is natural liquidity sweeps, right? And you come down here, or maybe even down here, maybe even all the way down here again, 37, and then make a big move up and crack 41. And once we crack that resistance at 41, which most likely, I don't know, most likely, nothing's most likely with this stock. But we are trading above the 9 EMA. We got a little bit of selling happening. All right, let's look at some questions. Yes. Jeffrey says, wouldn't it be well worth it to keep your shares until phase 3 and wait for a merger? With time, even if it's a year or two, could turn your profit into hundreds of thousands? Yes, absolutely. That's a good point. It would be worth it. That's actually a common sense thought. I don't know why I think like the way I think, but it's most likely because I sized in way too big on August 26th or 28th, whatever, that general anxiety drug announcement. And then they dumped millions of shares, and I started to see all my money disappear. So then I averaged down without a stop loss, And here we are. We're now trading at 38 cents. So yeah, the psychology of trading, right? And it's like, you know, if you ever watch that Warren Buffett video and he talks about price action, about how like price doesn't care. Price doesn't care that you bought in, that I bought in way too big without a stop loss. Price doesn't know that. You know, the market maker is there's not like secret agents and cameras on the roof outside my house pointing in. There's no microphones in my house. They don't know where I bought in. It's not a personal attack. You know, yeah, you're making a very good point, Jeffrey. And it's like I'm already all in anyway at this point. You know what I mean? I'm all in on the company. The only thing that could sway me is if they do something really stupid, which would be like, you know, announce a catalyst and then access the shelf, which is, you know, that any kind of those S3 filings, and go back to the shelf and say, hey, we by the way, here we completed the $100 million, and then 5 minutes later they make another filing that says, this time we're going to do $200 million. If something like that happens, I'm out, man. I'm not going to stay in this stock for years while they just, you know, take all our money off the table, you know, and just I'll just come back when they're done raising money. But yeah, I guess if they don't do anything like that, yeah, it would make more sense to just ride this into the dollars range and just take small profits on the way up.
Good question. Okay, who's this? Oh, last time you said figure out something with Nina. Who was that? Nina is, if you're on StockTwits, she is a technical trader that, you know, posts whatever her technical way of trading is. We have two different ways of trading. I trade. I don't even. I mean, I'm not even a tech. I don't pretend I know what I'm doing, guys. This is just standard support, resistance, wicks, trend lines, and charting. You know, this is like, you know, you can watch YouTube videos and figure and use ChatGPT at the same time. Screenshot these trading view screens and ask ChatGPT how to do it, and you spend 2 hours doing this, you'll learn how to do it. But it's a great way to do it because it's going to teach you whether you're trading, swing trading, scalping. It's going to teach you right here where price is. See, this is the first 15-minute candle. I marked that out. It shows you where price goes. And this is the pre-market high, pre-market low. So she does more like technical side stuff, which she trades Fibonacci and stuff I've never even heard of before. I'm not that advanced. And all that stuff is confusing to me, and it doesn't make any sense to me yet. So I don't trade. That's why I don't trade that. But that said, I trust what she's doing. Okay, so right now this 38. So we're still fighting. We're fighting between 38 and what's this top? Yeah, 38, 50. We're trading in in 40. We don't want to see this crack past this pre-market low again. That would kind of suck. I mean, it could happen, you know, but you know, you guys know I love that this is really bullish right here, and then we just want to see it keep moving. Yeah, so that's really it's gonna do it, isn't it? But let me see, what was it gonna say? Oh, let's look at, I have some talking points I want to look at. Yeah, let's talk about the drugs and the science and then call it a day. Let's see if anybody, here's some, well, let me see. Light shadow, no orders. Okay. I just want to thank everybody who's listening, and welcome everyone to ask questions. And like I said, I always say, like, not financial advice. I barely know what I'm doing. I'm just what I like to do is I like to try to get at least on the same page. Okay, so yeah, we see this kind of action every day. Like, see, look at this, and this red one's coming down. It's 38.20, and this happened the other day too. So, and what it is this is what it is. Let me show you on a bigger level what's happening here, and it might happen again. So, when price moves out of the day trend, I'll show you the day trend by easily going like this. You move your time frame to the day. Watch this, bing, it's going to be all noisy. And then you go like this, right? So there's the day chart.
So if you guys want to know like where price is going, so this is July 24th. This is where the day I made all my money, and I've been trading with the house money ever since. This is $1.66. That day it actually went up to $1.73. I don't know why charts re-rate what actually happened. But so that's that day. So this is the day chart. So as you can see, we have broken through this trend line, and I've had to move this trend line every day for the last three trading days. So this is kind of noisy. This all these colors, that's our 15-minute chart. So try not to pay attention to that. But as you see right now, if I can zoom into it, we're trading and we've broken. The coil has coiled up and popped out of, right? It's popped out of that day trend line. Okay, so this is September 25th. This, you know what I mean? So these are days. These candles are days every day. So today we can't change the blue trend line yet because the trading day is not over yet. But it was pointing this way, and then I changed it to that day because that trading day was over. So that's Friday. This is today. So as you can see, it's pretty obvious. And I'll tell you why I'm talking about this. We've popped out and we've broken the trend line on the day chart, right? Which also means we've broken the 15-minute, the 5-minute, the day, and really the week we can't really look at because we're only in the first day of the week, right? But we're cracking through a bunch of time frames. Oh, look at this, we're making a little move, it looks like. But this is like the super, this is the day time frame. So when we look back at the action that's happened in the last couple of days on the chart, when we go back to the 15-minute, right? This is just easy. This is just standard trend lines. Like I said, YouTube videos and easy. It'll teach you how to do this. It'll teach you how to map out support, resistance, price action. So when you see what happens here, so now when you look at this, right, and this is a bummer, you're like, oh man, that's a bummer. Well, unfortunately, what's happening is this is, here we go back into we're going to go back into conspiracy theory mode. So remember this blue trend line, right? So this blue trend, this is the day trend line. So here's Friday. Look at Friday. See this right here? It cracked through and it moved up, made a move. And what happened? It was forced back under this blue trend line. So this blue trend line is a trend line, not just for me in my charts, but it's the actual day trend line. These are 15-minute candles, by the way. So when you see the wicks and you're like, well, how come you didn't change it? Because these are 15-minute candles. They're not day candles, right? But anyway, see what happened on Friday? Let's see what happened on Thursday. Price breaks the trend line of the day for the first time since July. We did on Thursday. We broke through it. Immediately, you see these red candles, it gets stuffed down. That's algos. That's automatic algos. That's suppression. That's market makers. Look at this. And it slammed down because they're going to keep it under this day trend line. So when you see this, unfortunately, I mean, I would love to say, you know that little fat kid on the Ellen DeGeneres show? He's probably like an adult now. Apparently, what's probably going to happen is we're going to get slammed down back underneath the trend line for the day. Sadly enough, that would be the worst case scenario. It's probably, I don't think it's going to happen actually, because that's at 33 cents, but it could happen. But if you do see it happen and you wonder why, that's why. Because it's automatic. It's just automatic until a catalyst happens. So this is all being tightly coiled and pushed down like an explosion. And that's what's happening. One little catalyst, one little announcement or PR, whether it's after hours saying an extension has been granted, whatever little PR, this thing's going to pop. And it's going to pop and run. And I think at that point, market makers and algorithms will all flip bullish. There'll be what's called an FTD MOAS, which is mother of all short squeezes, because the market makers will cover. The short sellers will cover. Everyone will cover. And that's why I'm looking at that 41 cents. I was hoping we would coil up here. We'd come here on this is 15 minutes. Yeah. On this 15 minutes, it'll zoom back in here on the 15 minute. I was hoping we would coil up here and then make that move, break our 15-minute trend line, and then bust through 41 cents. And that's where we want to go. We don't want to see the opposite. We don't want to see it get stuffed back under this blue trend line again. But you got to ask yourself, why wouldn't that happen? It's been happening every day. Right? And the only reason that it wouldn't happen is no news. But sometimes in anticipation of news, like they know news is coming after hours, or all that we have to do is probably just end the trading session for the day, and that will be enough confirmation itself. But really, we need some news. You know what I mean? I think the market maker algorithms, everything is running on no news. And so these are the day charts. You see this day, you see the trend. We break the trend line, we get stuffed. We come back, we break the trend line, we get stuffed. So today it looks even better, but it's just, it looks more attractive because we're in the middle of it. But it's the same action as happened here. We break the trend line pre-market. This looks a little more promising. We make our move, and hopefully we don't get stuffed because today is October 20th. All right, let's take some more questions, and I'm going to wrap it up. Managed to get another 5,000. Jab. Holding since June at 20. I want $40 to $50. Nice. I don't know how many you're holding, but that's a great investment. Look at silver monthly chart and compare it to IXHL. It's going to break out the exact information. You make a really good point there too. And the other point is that we're not talking about like global economic conditions. We're not talking about Trump saying tariffs, the T word, right? We're not talking about the fact that Israel and Hamas are still fighting each other, even though the war's supposed to be over, right? If you look at that kind of news, you're not looking at the fact that there is a government shutdown, right? All this stuff affects everything affects us, marijuana reclassification, not so much, but a little bit. So, we need stuff to go in our favor. And right now, like, I don't know. It's like we need things to we need the government shutdown to end. So, that's a risk off. We need all these banks. There's one more bank filing today at the end. They're filing that all these companies went bankrupt and they lost millions of dollars, and that affects credit. The good news is this is earnings month, and we have a lot of big companies that are pretty bullish, that are like Coca-Cola and Netflix, et cetera, that are going to post earnings today, and that could be bullish. But all of that stuff kind of sways sentiment. It sways the most riskiest sector. So, a lot of this is too, you might have some experienced trader. It might be like, oh, that guy Brian, he don't know what the hell he's talking about, man. He's just talking all that crap about how he thinks conspiracy theory. All it is that biotech is the riskiest sector there is, and when you have these global economic macro conditions that take place, when people start yelling tariffs, or there's a government shutdown, or there's war, or or banks start claiming bankruptcy, then the first thing that people take their money out of is biotech. It could be as simple as that. So yeah, it looks like price is making a move back down. And if anyone has any last questions for me, let's say it now, and otherwise I'm gonna close the stream because today, because my phone is dying. I have no battery left. But thanks again, everyone, for joining in and all your great questions.
Jeffrey says, I swore I thought they got to you. I was thinking, damn, they don't want to let us win. What do you mean by that? It got to me how? I'm not sure what you meant by that, but yeah. Anyway, no, they didn't get to me, man. I'm just leaving my money in here. The scariest thing is like, when it does pop and run again and it goes past 77 cents, which is my position. That's like, of course you're skeptical or critical or overcritical of my mind, the psychology of trading. It's like, it tells me like, oh, well, you made that stupid mistake and you sized in too big. You better set a stop loss, you know, and it's like, I've never been a stop loss trader in this stock. And it's like, yeah, hopefully I don't do anything stupid like that and miss out on huge gains. Yeah, I'm pretty convicted and passionate about the stock and everything that's happening. I got it all wrong with the CEO because, I just didn't see the big picture at one point, and I got really frustrated, like a lot of people did. But now I kind of look at everything he said, and like I said, I see the forest through the trees with the CEO. And as long as he doesn't do anything really stupid, like file some kind of shelf registration expanding the ATM, then I'm all for being long. All right, everyone, I'm going to shut it down. Thanks again for joining in, and have a great day.